Okay. Go!
Will you hand me my screen box?
Now go.
All right, let's go on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Richard Cobb, 25176. A, B, well, there's lots of counts, but okay. All right, and counsel, your appearance, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Gunnar Advocate for the People, key number 87297.
Deborah Schlossel, P56420, on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Richard Cobb, who is to my right. Stand up, state your name.
Richard Cobb.
All right, good morning. All right, thank you. So today's the date scheduled for the preliminary examination in this matter. And there are 11 counts. 11 counts. And are the people ready to proceed?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, are there any preliminary matters that we need to address?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, do we have any requests to sequester, or we don't need to do that?
We have, we would ask, for mutual order sequestration with exception to the OIC, Your Honor.
Okay, are there any, sorry.
And we also have, intern. We have an intern for the Wyandotte Police Department. He's also here, but he won't be testifying.
Okay, all right, so I'll make an exception regarding the OIC and the intern. Who is not testifying, do you have any objection to that, counsel?
No.
Okay.
For clarification, the OIC will be testifying, but not.
The intern will not be testifying, yes, okay. And, are there any exhibits that, are being intended to be offered?
None from the people, Your Honor.
Your Honor, depending on the testimony, we may be offering some video.
Okay. So we don't have any stipulated exhibits, okay. All right, and anything else we need to address before we begin?
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
Okay,
Nothing, Your
all
Honor.
right, because I do apologize, the pickle you're in with the other court, but.
Two other courts, Your Honor, because I thought this was gonna be at 1 or 1:30, but
It was scheduled for that, but then we had another one that
you had
went
a
on
trial,
over,
I
so.
understand.
Okay, and so we, people may call their first witness, you can have a seat, sir, and counsel, obviously.
For our first witness, Your Honor, the people call Officer Tyler Gray.
I thank you, and you may, have a seat, please state and spell your first and last names.
Tyler Grove, TYLERGROAT.
All right, thank you. I saw that you carried your report with you. Is it upside down? Or you have some paperwork with you? I presume it's your report.
It's my report, it's upside down now.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, and counsel, you may proceed.
Are you employed?
Yes, I am.
Where are you employed?
With the Wyandotte Police Department,
What capacity are you employed at the Wyandotte Police Department?
as a patrol officer.
Were you employed in that capacity on February 5th, 2025?
Yes, sir.
And on that day, did your duties take you to the area of take you to the area of Fort and Goddard in the city of Wyandotte and county of Wayne?
It did.
And were you in uniform that day?
Yes.
Okay, and can you describe that uniform for me?
It's a full police uniform, has patches on the side, a vest, with a badge.
And were you in a vehicle that day?
I was.
Was that vehicle similarly marked?
Correct.
Were you alone?
No, I had a partner with me,
Who was your partner?
Officer Staticus.
So what were you doing in this area on that day?
Just conducting routine patrol.
I'm sorry, just for a moment. Counsel, I do see that there are some individuals sitting in the courtroom. Are any of those individuals intended to testify at any point?
No, Your Honor, that's my client's family.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, you may proceed.
I think my last question was, what were you doing in this location?
Correct.
What were you doing?
Conducting routine patrol.
And while conducting routine patrol, what, if anything, did you observe?
Observed a vehicle pass us with a cracked windshield, and after it passed us, we observed that it had a license plate light cracked.
Okay. And do you recall what kind of vehicle this was?
I believe it was a Trailblazer. If I could refer to my report, I could give you the exact make and model.
Do you recall the vehicle?
Yes, it was a white Chevrolet Trailblazer.
So, who was driving your police vehicle this day?
Mr. Cobb.
No, your police vehicle.
Oh, my police vehicle, I apologize. I was driving the police vehicle.
Alright. And so upon this observation of, you said it was what again?
White Trailblazer.
Yeah, and what was the issue that you saw with it?
It had a cracked windshield and a defective license plate light.
Alright, so upon this observation, what did you do?
We pulled out, got behind the vehicle and conducted a lane check of the license plate.
Okay. And did you, what if anything, came of that lien inquiry?
We observed that the registered owner of the vehicle had a warrant out for their arrest.
So upon this observation, what did you do?
After doing the lane check, we activated our emergency lights to initiate a traffic stop.
And you did that?
Yes.
Okay, and, so tell me how this stop went.
We activated our lights, the vehicle continued to drive for a short period of time before pulling over.
And did you exit your vehicle?
I did.
Okay, and did your partner exit the vehicle?
Correct.
Okay, and did you both, approach the car, make contact with the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay, which side did you, approach from?
The driver's side.
Okay, and then did your partner approach the passenger?
Yes, he approached the passenger.
Were you able to see if the car was occupied?
I was.
Okay, how many occupants were there?
There were 2 occupants.
Do you see any of the occupants in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you please point to an identifying article of clothing?
He's wearing a brown shirt sitting right here.
Your Honor, please let the record reflect the witness identified the defendant.
Okay, anything for the record, counsel?
Well, Your Honor, that's not Brown. And he's the only one at the witness table, so it's not difficult to identify him.
Well, he's not the only one at the defense table, you're also at the defense table, but it's in the, I will
I
say
think
it's in
it's
the brown.
obvious I'm not here as a defendant.
I understand.
I'm the female.
No, I understand that, it's in the Brown family, it looks as though it's in the Brown family, but,
Alright,
well,
Okay, has ID been completed? Do we stipulate to that?
yes.
Okay.
yes, record so reflects.
Where was the defendant seated?
In the driver's seat.
And did you speak to the driver? Sorry, did you speak to the defendant?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you say to him?
I asked him for a driver's license, registration, proof of insurance for the vehicle.
Did he provide those things?
He provided a driver's license and the registration.
So what did you do after that?
I asked him some routine questions on where he was going. He said that he was heading to Telegraph Road.
Okay, and then what happened after that?
He continued to look for his insurance. I asked him if there was anything illegal inside the vehicle I should be concerned about. He said there was not.
Okay, and so were you able to identify the passenger of the vehicle?
My partner spoke with the passenger of the vehicle.
Throughout this entire incident, did you ever learn their name?
Not at that time, no.
And so was your partner, don't tell me what they said, but was your partner speaking to the passenger?
He was.
Okay. Alright, and so what happened after this?
I asked the driver, Mr. Cobb, for consent to search his vehicle. He declined consent.
Okay. And what happened after that?
My partner radioed if there was a canine available to make our traffic stop.
Okay. And did the canine arrive?
A short time later, yes.
So in between the stop and you speaking to the defendant, how quickly after did the canine arrive?
I don't know the exact time. If I had to guess, it would be less than 10 minutes.
Less than 10 minutes, okay. And did you issue any sort of ticket during this time?
I was in the middle of conducting my lane checks on the driver and issuing a citation, yes.
Okay. And did the canine show up? Did the canine show up while you were still conducting these activities?
Correct.
Okay, so you had not completed these activities yet? Correct. So what happened when the canine showed up? The canine unit, I guess.
When the canine arrived, he went to make contact with the driver.
Just real quickly, when you mean he, who's that?
The canine officer Cox.
Okay. So Officer Cox is with the canine unit, and so what happened?
He made contact. He explains basically his procedure of what he's going to do with his canine partner. He explained that he needs the vehicle to be turned off. It's a safety concern for himself and the dog.
Okay, and how did the defendant respond?
He was argumentative, he was unwilling to, turn off the vehicle.
And so what happened after that?
When he was unwilling to turn off the vehicle, I advised him that he needed to step out of the vehicle.
Alright, and this kind of sounds self-explanatory, but why did you ask him to step out of the vehicle?
It's for safety concerns for the canine handler and the canine itself, so the driver can't put the car into drive and run him over.
And how many times did you ask this?
I asked him at least once, and then I opened the door, I told him to get out, he said he was not gonna get out.
Okay. And so what did you do?
I began to try to physically remove him out, he instantly grabbed onto the steering wheel, began to pull himself away from me towards the middle of the vehicle.
Was there any physical contact on you?
From the defendant,
Yes.
no, he was just resisting me pulling him from the vehicle, pulling away from me.
And also, I'm kind of just trying to backtrack. Do you know what time this was at?
If I could look at my report, I can tell you exactly what time. It looks like the traffic stop was conducted at 20:09.
Okay. And so after you went to escort out of the vehicle and he grabbed the steering wheel, what did you do next?
Continued to tell him to get out of the vehicle, attempting to extract him from the vehicle. My partner, Officer Stavkus, deployed his department issued taser. It struck Mr. Cobb. At that time, we were able to, myself and Officer Cox were able to extract him from the vehicle.
And so ultimately, throughout this, how many officers did it take to remove the defendant from the vehicle?
Myself and Officer Cox on the driver's side, and then Officer Stavkus with his taser.
Alright, and so he ultimately removed from the vehicle?
He was removed. We had ended up taking him to the ground. He fell onto the ground on his back. We were advising him he needed to roll onto his stomach because we were going to place him in handcuffs and arrest him for obstruction. It took another short struggle with myself and Officer Cox to be able to roll him over onto his stomach and get his hands secured in handcuffs.
Okay. And so how many officers did it take to do that?
From one, he was extracted from the vehicle.
Yes, to get him fully confident.
Myself and Officer Cox.
What did you do with him next?
At what point?
I mean, so he was confident. What happened with him? Like, did he stay there, or was he taken anywhere?
When he was handcuffed, we conducted a search of this person.
Now, when you say, real quickly, when you say we, do you know who did that?
It was Officer Cox and Officer Stavkus. I helped, stood by, making sure he didn't escape, just holding him on the ground.
Alright, and did you observe this search?
I did.
Okay, and did you witness, do you know where he was searched?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Do you know where he was searched? So where in his body? This was not his person, correct?
Yes, his entire person was searched.
Okay, and did you see anything recovered?
I did.
Okay, what did you see?
It was a bag of narcotics.
And, alright, and so do you know what was done with that bag of narcotics?
Officer Cox recovered it. I believe he turned it over to Officer Stavkus.
Okay, and then did you ever make contact with those drugs again? Those narcotics?
I did later again at the station.
Okay, so was he, in between you testing and then the drugs being recovered, was he ultimately arrested?
He was.
Okay, and then what about the driver? Sorry, I meant what about the passenger?
The passenger was also arrested.
Okay, and do you know what happened with that vehicle?
It was impossible.
Okay, and did you, was any sort of search conducted on this vehicle?
Excuse me. Yes, there was an inventory conducted of the vehicle.
Okay, did you take part in that?
I assisted, yes.
And do you know who else conducted the search?
Excuse me. Officer Cox and Officer Stavkus both.
Okay, and did you witness that search as well?
Yes, they were searching alongside me.
Okay, and so do you know what if anything was recovered from this?
There was a firearm recovered.
And did you make contact with this firearm?
No, I did not.
What happened with the vehicle after that?
It was impounded.
Now let's talk about later at the station. So these drugs, were they placed on evidence?
They were.
Okay, and then is that where you encountered them again?
Correct.
Okay, and so did you conduct any sort of test on them?
Yes, I did. I field tested them.
Okay, so let's talk about each, what kind of test did you use for each one?
A preliminary field test. It depends on the type of drug, what type of test kit you're using.
Okay, so what-
Test kits?
Which test kits did you use?
Like, are you looking for a name or?
Yes, sure. I mean, since I just wanna know, like, the test kit, and then you said it depends, so like, does it depend for a certain substance?
Correct.
Okay, can you tell me which test you did for which substance?
Can I look at the report to refer to all the substances that were there?
Absolutely.
All right, for cocaine and the crack cocaine, that would be a narc swipe.
Alright, and is that the only type of narc swipe you conducted?
Could you rephrase the question? I guess I don't understand the question.
Is the narc swipe the only thing you, or so you said you do, a narc swipe is for cocaine, is that what you said, crack cocaine?
Correct, it's the test for cocaine.
Okay, and so did you use that? Did you use
Yes.
it? Okay, and so can you tell me the steps for that, how it works?
It's a wipe, you wipe the suspected substance, what you think is cocaine. If it is present, if it's positive for the presence of cocaine, it turns blue.
And have you done these tests before?
Yes,
Okay, and how many?
numerous times.
And did you follow that same procedure in this case?
Correct.
And so what was the result?
Positive for cocaine.
Okay. Now, I kinda wanna talk about, so we just said narcotics, so I just kinda wanna flesh this out a little bit for the court. You said narcotics were recovered, can you talk about, like, was there packaging, what did it look like, how many, like, was it separate?
As I said, Officer Cox recovered it. However, what I recall was a large bag, that had individual bags inside of it.
Okay, can you talk about these bags for me? Are they like Ziploc, or are they kinda like transparent?
With cellophane bags.
Okay. Alright, so what was, did you do any other tests?
Yes, would be a test individually for fentanyl and for ecstasy. They each have their own reagent kits. Works a little bit different than the narc swipe.
Okay, can you just describe the process for that?
Yes, you take a small amount of the suspected substance, put it into, like a small container that has tubes of liquid in it. You crack the tubes when the suspected substance is in there, mix it up, and it will turn a color. It's indicated on the test that it will turn to a specific substance.
Alright, and did you follow that same procedure here?
Correct.
Okay. And what did it, and so when you tested these specific substances, what did it test positive? Did it test positive for anything?
Yes, the one substance tested positive for fentanyl and one substance tested positive for ecstasy.
Alright, and so was that all the substances that were recovered?
There were some pills that were recovered as well.
Pills, can you describe these pills for me?
There was 5.5 pills that were labeled Y20. And then there were 8 pills that were labeled E50520.
This was on, Your Honor, this was on the witness list, but now I'm thinking, since I'm gonna move to admit a proposed exhibit, I already mentioned it beforehand.
Okay. Is there a stipulation to that exhibit?
It's been sent to you, it's just the preliminary test form.
Your Honor, I'm not sure I want to stipulate to that because is he
I
the
can't-
one that did those tests?
Yeah, he's
I
testifying
mean,
right
he
now.
says he did, but I don't see his signature on here, I don't know. It's not a signature,
It says conducted by.
no it doesn't.
I can authenticate it, so I don't need
Alright,
to stipulate.
let's go ahead and
Okay, that's
authenticate.
fine, I was just seeing if there was a stipulation, okay.
So
I'm sorry, this is linked to the people's proposed exhibit.
I'm gonna do a little bit of authenticating right now, I just want to put you on notice real quickly. So then, can you say what the imprint was on those pills again?
Yes, there were 8 pills that were imprinted E50520.
Okay, and do you know what those imprint was for?
The pill was identified as Adderall.
Is that, how did you determine that?
Officer Cox used drugs.com.
Objection, Your Honor, that's hearsay. If that officer's here, he can testify to using a website.
Okay, alright, counsel, your response.
Yeah, he's here, it's not a big deal.
Okay, that's fine, so objection sustained.
Alright, and were you able to weigh all these out?
Yes, we were.
Okay, so can you tell me the weight under each substance?
Yes, would you like the weight for the pills as well?
Yes,
There was the pills that were labeled E50520 were 2.13 grams. There was a package of cocaine, that was 6.28 grams, package of crack cocaine, that was weighed at 6.12 grams. Another package of cocaine.
Your Honor, I have to object for a second. Was there testimony that he's the one that did the weighing?
Did you do the weighing?
Yes, and the officer Cox performed the tagging of the evidence.
Well, Your Honor, I don't think there should be any testimony about what any other officers did. He can only testify.
Testimony is, this officer testified he was doing the weighing.
Okay.
Did you witness the tagging as well?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yeah, so objection overruled.
and were you able to document all this on some sort of like field test form?
I believe it's all documented in the preliminary field test analysis as well as the report.
Okay. And so if I showed a picture of it to you, if I showed you this document, would you recognize in the courtroom today?
Yes.
You have to approach the witness.
Permission to approach, Your Honor?
Permission granted.
Yes, this is my preliminary field test analysis form.
Okay. And then can you read off each substance one more time, it's just on the form? Sorry, you start from the bottom.
Start from the bottom of the pills.
Yeah, so tell me what those pills were.
Okay. So the pills were amphetamine and dextromethorphan and alazapram was the second pill.
And then what were the other three substances that you talked about?
Would be ecstasy or methamphetamine / MDMA. Was positive, approximate weight 0.66 grams. Fentanyl, tested positive for fentanyl. Approximate weight of 2.68 grams. Cocaine, tested positive for cocaine. Total weight of 13.84 grams with the multiple packaging or different packages combined.
Is that authentic and has it been misrepresented in any sort of way?
This form?
Yes.
Or-
Has that form been misrepresented or altered in any sort of way?
No.
The people move to admit People's Proposed Exhibit 1, which is what Officer Grove just testified to. Defense might still object to it, however, I can still admit it under MCL 76611B.
Okay, response counsel.
Well, Your Honor, I do object to it because there are other officers' names on there as officers that were involved in weighing and authenticating and doing other things, and none of them have testified yet, and I think you need their testimony before admitting that.
Once again, I can still admit it under MCL 76611. So, which allows for the stuff to be admitted at exam without testimony.
The court will agree that under 766.11, as well as this witness testifying, he's an individual that was listed on this report as well, correct, based upon what
Could you repeat that last part, Your Honor?
this witness's name was listed on this report as well?
Yes,
All right, the court's going to admit People's Proposed Exhibit 1.
All right, and then did that conclude your involvement in this case?
It did.
Okay. No further questions.
All right, thank you. Any cross?
Yes, approximately what time did you first stop my client, pull him over?
I believe it was 2209 hours.
2209 hours, all right, and approximately what time did you, call the canine officer to show up?
I did not request the canine, that was my partner.
Alright, do you know what time that was?
I do not.
Alright, whose body cam was it that was allegedly shut off in the middle of the incident? Was it yours?
Correct.
Alright, approximately how many minutes in was it shut off? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Okay. It's true that you stopped my client because allegedly the light didn't work on his license plate, isn't that correct?
That was one of the reasons.
Is there another reason cited at the beginning of the police report?
There was, cracked windshield, as well as the defective light, and the registered owner had no valid warrant.
Okay, Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes, just show the council what it is you're
Yes.
working with.
So,
You have to show Mr. Gunner, you have to show Mr. Natalie what they're
police
approaching.
report you produced to me
Yeah.
in discovery, okay? Can you please show me, where in this report it states about the cracked windshield?
I don't believe this is my police report, I think this is an investigator report.
Do you have a report in there later on in the report?
This is not mine.
Is yours later on in the police report?
Hold on,
It's a-
hold on, here's what I'm gonna do, for sake of time, Officer Grove has indicated he has his report with him, because he had to look at it earlier, so how about, you wanna look at his report?
Sure.
Because
It's
he's
in that
testified,
packet.
he's testified that that's the investigator's report, but it may be in that packet, but if he's got a copy of it that's easier to access.
That's fine, Your Honor, may I approach to get
May,
that?
yes.
Okay. Can you, do you still have your report on here?
Yes, that's right.
Can you show me where in that report you cite the cracked windshield?
With the cracked windshield.
Okay, so where was the cracked windshield?
I don't recall.
Was it the front of the car, was it the back of the car?
Yes, the windshield, the front.
It was the front? And isn't it true that in all the video, you were following the car from the back
The car passed us.
at night, correct?
Correct.
Alright, and it was dark out, correct?
Correct.
Alright. Your Honor, I would like to show the officer body cam of that night, since a lot was made about how long it took to call the K-9 unit and how long it took for the K-9 unit to come to the incident, and we know why, because of the Rodriguez case. So, Your Honor, I would like to play the body cam video of this. Do you see this video?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's start it. Is
The-
that
I'm
your...
sorry, counsel, please pause, before you start it, when you're starting and stopping it, please indicate for the record the time that you're starting it and the time that you're stopping it.
Okay, Your Honor.
And the time that you resume it, just so we have it for the
Okay.
record.
Alright, I'm gonna start it at 0 hours and 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Does that look familiar to you?
That is not my body camera.
Alright, whose body camera is it if you know?
Looks like it's gonna be my partner's. Someone
Okay.
sitting in a passenger seat.
Okay. Does that look like it's the night in question?
From this, I could not tell you.
Was it February 5th of 2025?
Yes.
Was it at night?
It's up in the corner, yes.
Alright, was it at 21:09 hours and 2 seconds?
No, I believe that's Zulu time or some different time on the body cameras.
Okay, but does that look like the night in question?
It's the correct date, yes.
Alright. When you approached the vehicle, were you on the driver's side or the passenger side?
The driver's side.
Okay. So, Your Honor, the reason I want to show this is he is on the video. And it's not his body cam, but it shows him talking to my client. It shows what happened.
But it's not his body cam, you just said you were going to have this witness authenticate the body cam. Your response, Mr. Madden?
I was gonna object because I don't know how you've been impeached for any sort of purpose, but this one, it's not his body cam, so that was my objection.
Your Honor, I can show his body cam, but it's harder to see what's going on and to hear everything from his body cam, unfortunately. And also, his body cam stops in the middle. He claims my client shut it off. That's not borne out by the...
I haven't heard any claim about that, you just asked if it shut off, there was no claim one way or the other, I haven't heard any testimony about that. But what I did hear was that you wanted to play the body cam of this officer to determine the times of such from when the stop initiated and then when the canine officer arrived. So if you want this officer's body cam, that's not this one.
Okay, Your Honor, but it will show when they stopped and when he approaches the driver's side. You can see him on the driver's side on this video from the body cam of the other officer that's on the passenger side. And it's a better vantage point. you can hear what's going on, in my opinion, better. I would like to show it. I mean, I can show it later on with the other officer, whose body cam it is.
Okay, this is all very muddled and it's not very concise at all. So what I'm trying to find out, Counsel, you said that you wanted to show body cam of this officer to nail down more or to call into question or something regarding the time from when the stop initiated and when the canine officer was called.
Well, that's
Is that what you stated?
It's, yes, but that's part of it, Your Honor, but it will show the discussion and what happened and what he said to my client and why it took so long. There was a lot of delay tactics in this.
But I feel like that's putting the cart before the horse. We haven't even gotten into any of that testimony yet. The testimony that has been established so far was regarding body cam allegedly being shut off, what time the stop occurred, not sure how far into the stop the canine officer was called, and then you wanted to show the video.
Correct.
Okay, so now you're talking about wanting this video to potentially impeach testimony from this officer that hasn't necessarily been established on cross-examination yet. I can't have you play the video in lieu of any cross-examination.
All right, so Your Honor, then what I can do is I can play his body cam video, but then later on I want to play this because you can see what's going on better from this video, and you can see him on this video.
You can't testify. Right now you're testifying.
True.
Why don't you ask questions of the witness first, and then establish things that way, and then if we play the video. But it seems to me that you're trying to play the video in lieu of asking any questions.
No, Your Honor, because I do want to show him the video and then ask him about it. But I will, so is it your testimony that this was your partner's video?
Yes, it looks like my partner's body cam.
All right. And did you and your partner both approach the car together?
Yes, I mean, we left the car approximately the same time. I don't know exactly when he arrived at the vehicle, but yes, we both got out of the car when the vehicle stopped and approached the vehicle.
You were both approaching the vehicle at the same time, correct?
Sure.
Okay, I mean, you didn't approach the vehicle a whole minute later,
No.
or even 30 seconds later, correct?
No.
Okay. And when you approached the video, did your body cam show you?
I'm confused by the question.
Does your body cam face you or does it face outward?
It faces outward.
Okay, so it does not show you, correct?
No, I will not.
Okay.
Be in the video.
But you approached my client at the driver's side, correct?
Correct, I went to the driver's side of the vehicle.
Alright. And your partner approached the vehicle on the passenger side, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so his body cam would face you, correct?
It would face away from him, whatever direction he's facing.
Wasn't he looking into the passenger side?
I can't testify to what he's doing or what he's looking at.
So you don't remember what he did or what he looked at? You weren't there?
I'm not paying attention to my partner, I'm paying attention to the driver and the occupants of the vehicle.
So you don't pay attention to your partner at all?
No, I do not.
Oh, alright, I think you find that interesting. Does he pay attention to you?
I can't testify to what he does or does not do while he's on a traffic stop.
So you're both approaching the car at the same time. You're talking to the inhabitants of the car, and you don't pay attention to what each other is doing?
Your Honor, I believe this has been asked and answered already.
It hasn't actually.
It sounds as though it has though, Counsel, because you just even indicated that you asked him specifically, so you don't pay attention to what your partner does. And then you said you find that interesting, so it has been asked.
Alright, withdrawn, Your Honor. So when he's looking into the vehicle, wouldn't his camera capture what's in the vehicle?
Yes,
And when he's looking through an open window, wouldn't his camera catch what's across the way?
it would catch whatever is in the
That's a yes or a no. Wouldn't his camera catch what's across the way?
I'm gonna check out what knowledge you have of his partner's camera, what would it catch. He has a body camera. We're talking about his partner's body camera. I think defense is doing this in the incorrect way. I think you put a rebuttal witness, and then she can authenticate it through other witnesses, but she's trying to authenticate not his body camera. So I object to her trying to use this for any sort of impeachment purpose at all during this.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm not trying to do it for that reason. That's not, in fact, true at all. And in fact, what I'm trying to establish is that this witness is shown on this video that I'm trying to show you. And I want to show him on the video and ask him if that's him. Didn't this video capture him? And didn't he say these things? I think it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, well, counsel, okay, there's a few, this seems to be out of order.
I don't get to call the witnesses in order, Your Honor. He calls them.
What's that?
He gets to call the witnesses in
I
whatever
understand
order
that,
he
but you
wants.
want to play another officer's body cam from this witness. You asked about playing this witness's body cam. And what you've proposed to play is not this witness's body cam. And now you want to use this other body cam to question or to play something that this witness allegedly said or didn't say, and then ask questions about that. So instead of playing this video right now, because I'm not going to allow this playing of the video, it is not this witness at this point, it has not been authenticated, it's not been stipulated to. So then ask the questions that you want to know about with whatever you see on the video. So why don't you ask those questions? Let's go that way.
Okay, when you approached my client, you told him that his lights were out on his license plate, right?
Yes,
Alright, did you ever mention to him the crack in the window at all when you approached him?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so why was that not mentioned when you claimed that that was the reason you stopped him?
I don't always give them every reason unless they ask specifically for every violation.
Didn't he ask you specifically what did I do wrong repeatedly?
I gave them the violation, that's one of them.
Alright, did you say, oh, this is only one of them?
No,
Okay, and then when you approached him and you told him this was the violation, didn't you immediately ask him, I would like to search your car?
no.
So when did you, approximately how far in did you tell him you want to search his car?
I don't know how long.
But you did ask him you want to search his car, correct?
I believe this has been asked and answered again.
No, it hasn't. I asked him, you did ask that, and he hasn't not acknowledged yes or no that whether or not he has asked that.
You said you didn't, you asked, the question that you asked was right when he walked up to the car. So now you're asking, did he at any point ask that question?
Correct.
Okay, so the court's gonna overrule the objection. That question is not gonna be asked.
You have asked him, you did ask him during the approach to his side of the vehicle, can you search the vehicle, didn't you?
During my interaction with them, yes, I did ask.
Okay, and he never said yes, isn't that correct?
That is correct. He did
Okay.
not.
And that's a yes or no, please. And,
Counsel, I'll manage the courtroom.
okay, Your Honor, can you direct him though to answer my questions without editorials and
If there's-
additional
If there is a
responses?
question that requires a yes or no answer, please answer just yes or no. If there's anything that's needed over and above that, that's not asked, then perhaps the prosecutor will ask that question, or just answer the question yes or no. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I'm gonna then object to any non-response of additional answers, because that's non-responsive to my questions.
We actually followed up the answer to say, that's correct, he did not give consent, so he was finalizing what he was answering to you, so I'm not going to overrule that objection. It isn't as though he was being argumentative and saying something else or trying to give an excuse as to why or something like that. It sounded as though he was trying to give a comprehensive answer.
My client never said yes to you, isn't that correct?
About what?
About a search of his vehicle.
Correct, he never said yes.
Okay, so he never gave consent to you in any way, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and you argued with him repeatedly about that, didn't you?
No, I did not.
It's your testimony you didn't ask him more than once?
I did not argue with them.
Didn't you question him, why won't you do a search?
I don't recall. I might have, I don't know.
Okay, and in all of this time, you had his driver's license and his insurance, didn't you?
I did not have his insurance.
Okay, you could have looked up whether he had warrants against him while you were arguing with him, instead of arguing with him, correct?
I wouldn't object to this form of question. He just said he wasn't arguing with him. Now she's saying that he was arguing with him. I think these questions are getting more and more argumentative, Your Honor. So I'm just objecting to this form of
Okay,
question.
your response, counsel?
Your Honor, I'm trying to establish that he was trying to delay this for the K-9 unit to show up. He could have looked up my client's license, he could have looked at his insurance, which he did have, and we'll see how that on the video, and he could have written him the ticket, my client would have been on his way. This was an unlawful traffic or search pursuant to the Rodriguez case. He was trying to delay things.
Okay, well, counsel, you're not asking the questions in that regard. The testimony, you asked a question about arguing, the witness testified that he was not arguing with him. And now you're continuing to ask questions using the word arguing between the witness and your client. So the witness already testified he wasn't arguing. So the court's going to sustain the objection, and if you want to ask specific questions regarding delay tactics or what have you, then obviously you can head down that road, but it seems like we're taking a very long time to get where you're trying to go.
You were given my client's driver's license. How long did it take you once you were given that to go to your car and look up whether he had warrants?
I don't know. I was waiting for him to provide all the documentation I requested.
He gave you all the documentation right away, didn't he?
No, he did not give me the proof of insurance right away.
How long did it take for you to get the proof of insurance?
I don't recall.
Did you, as soon as you got that, go and check if my client had warrants?
I don't recall.
Okay, and when did you call for the K-9 unit in all of that?
As I said before, I did not call for the K-9, my partner did.
Alright, and you don't recall when he called for the K-9 unit?
No.
Okay. Your Honor, I would like to play this witness's body cam for the court.
Okay,
Your Honor,
yes.
just real quickly, there are 3 more witnesses after this, and I'm anticipating this is, if this is good, this one witness is gonna take this long. We have this other exam that I'm assuming we're gonna have to adjourn. So I was wondering if we could just get them out, because that one's gonna be a long exam too, and I just feel horrible leaving.
Okay, well, yes, I mean, we're not going to be here until 9 o'clock tonight, I can tell you that. I don't think my staff wants to, well,
Your Honor,
I'm not gonna let them stay that long, so.
how late are we going to be here?
I don't know, I'm not intending to be too late, we're going to probably have to, I mean, hopefully we can finish up with one witness, and then we're gonna have to pick another date to come back with the rest of the witnesses.
Okay.
So, let's get Mr. Puda in here, and we can pick a new date.
This plan, I leave, go grab them.
Yes. Okay, so the goal is that we're going to finish this witness, and then we'll have to come back. Is everybody good for next Thursday? 27th? I know you're always on Thursday.
I think that's a horrible day for me, Your Honor. Yeah, that's a very crazy day for me. I'm heck the entire day. I can't do it.
April 3rd?
Your Honor, I can't do it that day either, but I can do, if we did in the morning, but the problem is, Your Honor, that I have 2 things that I cannot change on the 3rd in the afternoon. And so if we don't get this done in the morning, I have to do those other 2 things.
What does next week? So here's the problem, right? Had I known the extent of all the witnesses and the testimony in this one, perhaps we would have started the other one and just held this one off so we don't start this and then start again in 3 weeks. I mean, my memory is generally good, but I don't want to go 3 weeks in between having to hear testimony. Okay, what do you have next Thursday, counsel? I know you said it's a crazy day, but what?
Your Honor, I cannot move anything. I've moved things to that date. I have an 8 o'clock, 8:30 in Oakland County. I have a 1:30 in Southfield. I have a 1:30, I have an 11 a.m. in Wayne County. I can't even read this, I have to get my magnifying glass out. But I just can't move any of those things, and so we wouldn't, the Southfield one I can't move, we moved that a million times.
Okay, what is the one in Southfield at 1:30?
It's with Judge Johnson,
Okay,
and it is a final pretrial, and it's a hearing possibly on a motion. I'm not sure if we got that issue resolved or not. So that's at 1:30. I had something that was set for 1:30. I think it switched to 8:30 that morning. And then I have an 11 a.m. in Wayne County that was today, and we just adjourned it. And that judge will not let me change it, because that case, he's an arraignment judge, and that case, it's past 100 days. And he wants to resolve it in his court, and it's gotta be resolved in a day. I also have that afternoon, a Zoom with Judge Simpson it's in person right now, but I may change it to a Zoom because I'm in Southfield. So Your Honor, it will be a mess to move anything that day. And Your Honor, I just missed 2 Zooms today that I
I'm
had sent.
almost afraid to ask, what about April 10th?
So April 10th, I could do if it's in the morning. The afternoon, I have a pretrial in Washtenaw County at 1:30, and that judge has a very long docket, so I don't know what time I would be on. If I could do a Zoom with her, I would, but the problem is I had a Zoom with her this afternoon, and I missed it now because, so.
I am confident in my
The 17th,
speed
I
of questioning. I know I can get any time frame done, that's not a concern for me.
Your Honor, I could do the 8th, I could do the 17th, I have both those days wide open.
Okay, I'm not going out 4 weeks, I mean, I mean,
Can we do the morning of the 10th? If we could do the morning of the 10th, I can do
what
it.
do we already have on our docket on the 10th? Well, are all of your witnesses available on the 10th? Let's confirm.
I can go check with them.
I could do April 2nd, Your Honor.
We have to do it Thursday.
Alright.
That day works, Your Honor.
What did we just say, April 10th in the morning?
The 10th in the morning, they said it would work.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do, April 10th.
Your Honor, would it be possible to just start with the continuation of my cross on this witness then?
I don't like to split up the direct and cross-exam. I'd like to finish this witness today if possible, so that we can then start fresh with one set witness and not have to question what was testified to, what was not testified to, what was asked, what was not asked. It just gets way too messy. So already this is messy enough, so I'd rather just try to limit the messiness if possible.
Okay, I have a 13-minute video then that I would like him to watch and authenticate.
Okay.
I would like you to watch this video. Does this appear to be your body cam?
I'm in the driver's seat, so presumably.
Alright, Your Honor, may I play this?
Yes, but are we watching it all the way through?
Most
Or are
of
you
it.
stopping and starting?
I may stop.
If you do, please make sure that you are specifying the time that you're stopping it, and
Okay.
then play again the time that you played.
Okay, we're starting at 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds according to the bottom left-hand side of the screen. And the video on the top says 21:09:03. I don't know how it corresponds to what's on the bottom.
Okay.
Alright, so Your Honor, I'm gonna start the video.
He's got a civil fraction on it. Good insurance, good plate. Trailblazer. Richard Cobb, born in 71.
Hello, how you doing tonight, man?
All right.
You got your driver's license and the registration insurance?
Sir. What happened? Did I do anything wrong?
So, a couple things. You got no license plate lights on the back, and then the registered owner of the car has, looks like some sort of warrant. Is the car registered to
There's
you?
not no warrant here.
Are you registered owner of the car?
My dad is.
Okay, so it sounds like he's got like some unpaid tickets or something. Where you guys heading tonight? Anywhere good?
Can I reach right here and grab my?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or anything, sir.
Where you guys heading tonight?
I'm headed straight back to Telegram.
Okay. Are you still staying at your address on your ID in Detroit?
Umbrella? No.
No, where are you staying at now?
I'm staying on Michigan now.
Okay, is that in Detroit or Dearborn? Dearborn?
Yes.
Driving record pretty clean?
It's all the way clean, sir.
Alright, no suspensions or anything like that?
Sir.
Do you have the insurance for the car?
Yeah. I know the car dirt. I know it's all dirty, man, outside the car.
Appreciate it. Any warrants or anything for you?
No, sir.
Alright, anything with you tonight? Should be concerned about any firearms, large knives,
Thank you for
anything
giving
like
us
that?
another DOL. I'm looking for
Any sort of illegal narcotics inside the car? Any cocaine, meth, heroin, anything like that?
Sir.
Would you be alright if we search the car and make sure there's nothing here tonight?
For what?
What's that?
For what?
I'm just asking you.
I need to know the reason why.
Well, as I said, just to make sure there's nothing illegal inside the vehicle.
That's not it. Because I'm feeling like you need to.
What's that?
Ain't not for what?
Just to sniff the car.
Sniff the car.
For the presence of narcotics.
I don't have any narcotics.
I didn't say that you did or not.
I don't have only thing I have is for drugs.
Okay.
I don't have no narcotics. So can I call my father?
For what?
Because I'm being racist. I'm being profiled right now.
In what way?
I didn't do
Is that-
anything. I have my license. I have my insurance.
No one's brought up anything about race besides you, sir.
No, I have my license. I have my insurance.
Okay.
I don't have no warrants.
I don't know that. I haven't ran you.
Well, you can go run it.
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
I didn't do anything wrong. I'll call right now.
I mean, what do you need to call him for?
Because I'm being detained for no reason. I didn't do anything.
No, you committed a traffic violation with your vehicle.
I did.
Yeah, you have defective equipment on your vehicle, yes.
What do
I
you
explained
mean?
that to you. You have lights that are burned out on your vehicle.
That's burned out.
Yes.
So that's a ticket for him. I didn't do anything wrong, sir.
No, you're driving the vehicle, so it all falls onto you.
So that's a ticket for me. I didn't do
Correct.
anything wrong. To the point where I have to get out of my vehicle and be detained for no reason.
Well, you're detained at a traffic stop. I didn't ask you to get out of the vehicle.
Okay, so what?
At any point, have I asked you to get out?
Yes, both of you did.
No, I didn't.
So I don't know what's going on.
I never asked you to step out of your car.
Damn. The police got me pulled over. The police had me pulled over for no reason, and they saying that they trying to that you got a warrant or something.
Hey, just stay here. Dispatch has been. Stopped him. It's a younger black guy, a little bit older white chick in the passenger seat. Just nervous as can be, the shakes.
Okay.
Accusing of racial profiling as soon as we asked about stuff.
Okay.
The normal stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
You want to hang out? I'll go talk to him.
No, I appreciate that. Okay, just let me.
So, Your Honor, I'm just stopping the video. I just want to show that this is 9 minutes and 34 seconds in, as reflected by the corner of the screen. And I just want to ask the witness, at that point.
So that's at 21:18:37?
Oh, at the top part?
Yes.
Okay, I
Is that-
acknowledge that. And, do you acknowledge, officer, that, at this point, you had looked my client up in the video, in your vehicle, you looked up his warrants, correct?
Yes, I can definitely
Okay.
answer that one.
And would it be fair to say that at the beginning of the video, my client did give you his insurance information?
And what do you mean by the beginning?
You testified earlier that my client didn't give you his insurance information right away with his license.
That was correct.
And at this point, you are done looking my client up, correct?
At this point in the video,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, we can continue the video.
I'll get you out of here, okay? I'm Officer Carter, Police Department. The reason why I am here is I'm the canine handler for the city of Lyon, okay? Nothing illegal in the car? Okay. I can smell marijuana, my dog doesn't hit on marijuana, so you're good with that, okay? Only marijuana's in the vehicle, no hard drugs. Okay. Let me do it. Good job, okay? Now you care what my dog does. Okay, so it's common basically
Apparently the dog's back inside now.
I don't know. Let me just do whatever you want. You also go in 52 minutes. You go back to my car here. Have the phone going on the next side. Stop right there. That's for my dog. I'm not sure why you're honestly, okay, if you're not going to turn the vehicle off, I'm going to have you step out. I feel like you're trying to kill you. I'm not trying to kill you. I don't know what you are. You have on a mask. I don't know what's going on. It's cold. It's cold. Okay? Want to see my face? Here's my face. Sir, listen. I don't know what's going on. I have my license. I've never been in jail. I've never did anything wrong. And no one said you did, sir. They are telling me to cut my car off and throw my keys up. And he's saying that I was pulled over for what you said I was pulled over for?
Defective equipment, and the registered owner has a warrant.
And I don't have no warrant or anything. You just ran my plate. You just ran my license. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Look, you got two choices: turn it off or get out. 3, 2. Turn off the car. Step out.
Step out now. He told me to throw it up.
Step out.
No, I'm not stepping on
Get out of the car.
Man.
Get out.
What is you doing?
Get out.
Stop, man.
Get out.
Stop. Sir.
Get out of the car.
Stop,
If you don't get out, I'm going to tase
Stop,
you.
man.
Get the fuck out.
Stop, man. Stop, man. Sir. God! Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Get on your fucking stomach. Stop. Stop, man. Get on your stomach. Get on your stomach. Mama. Hands out. Get your fucking hand out. I don't have my hand in my pocket. Put your hand on your fucking back. I didn't do anything.
So you acknowledge that all of
You
it,
stopped it?
yeah, that's when it ends.
Okay.
It ends
So
at,
what time was that at?
So- on my corner of the screen, it says 13:03 is the total amount of time. On the top, it says 21:09:03. And officer, do you acknowledge that that video is entirely from your body cam?
That's correct.
Okay. And do you acknowledge that,
Counsel, are you moving to admit?
yes, I am.
exhibit?
I am. Yes, Your Honor, this time I move to admit defense exhibit, what did we say, 1 or A? I can't remember. A. Your Honor, I do have an additional video, but that's.
Just one moment, counsel, your response to the.
I have the objection to that radar.
All right, the court will so admit to defense exhibit A.
And officer, at the time, after you looked up my client on the computer in your vehicle, did you print out a ticket?
I was in the process of completing a ticket.
Did you print out a ticket, yes or no?
No.
Okay. Did you hand my client a ticket?
No.
Okay. Did you have a ticket in your hand when you were approaching the vehicle?
No.
Okay. No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Can you redirect?
Yes, sir. So, I mean, as we established, it was nighttime, correct? Now, were there streetlights out there? Was lighting sufficient for you to see other cars on the road?
Correct.
Were you able to see other sort of characteristics of vehicles?
Yes.
Okay, so could you see clearly the cracked windshield
Yes.
Okay, and that was the cracked windshield the only reason why you pulled him over?
No.
So could you just, I know we've gone back and forth, but it's been a long process here, so could you please restate the reasons for pulling him over again?
Yes, the defective license plate lamp, the cracked windshield, and the registered owner having a warrant.
Okay. So we've combined with all those, that these were the reasons for pulling him
Correct.
over. And you said, when I said, do you know the amount of time abiding between the call and then in between the stop and when the officer arrived to the call? You said around 10 minutes, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then can we go to that 9 minutes and 34 seconds? Okay, who's that officer right
It's
there?
9:31 right
Yes, oh yeah, for the record, 931.
Thank you.
In the video of the people, oh sorry, Defense Exhibit A. Do you recognize that officer right there?
Yes,
Who's that?
that's Officer Cox.
Okay, Officer Cox. So, is he the K-9 officer?
Yes.
Okay, so you said around 10 minutes, that was actually 9 minutes and 30 seconds worth. And at that time, were you still conducting your stop?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And so your stop was not finished, that's what I'm asking.
No, it was not.
No further questions.
Any recross?
Yes. At that time, at 9:31, you are right behind the K-9 unit officer, aren't you?
Correct.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. I have one question. Was Mr. Cobb the named registered owner of the vehicle?
No, same name, I believe it was his father.
Okay. Same name, meaning the first and last name was the same?
Yes. Like, I believe it was a senior, was the registered owner.
Okay. Okay, any further redirect from the people?
I just want to clarify, so the name listed on this warrant is, on this complaint is Richard Tyrone Cobb Jr. Now, did it say senior on was it senior who had the warrant?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure, no further questions.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, very good, thank you. Okay. Thank you very much for coming in to testify. Please do not discuss your testimony with anybody. There's a mutual sequestration order that's in effect until all the way through April 10th at this point.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, that's a date you picked. Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so counsel, if you want to close out, we're not gonna start any other witnesses. Okay, so counsel, if you want to close out of this so that you can give the hard drive, and you can stop screen sharing as well, and you can give the hard drive to Ally over here. And then,
Your Honor, I want to note that again, there's other exhibits on this, so next time the court will hold on to it, but we can use, I will make a copy for myself, but.
no, we're gonna hold on to it, and then we'll have
Okay,
it back
all right.
on the next date we're here.
Alright,
So
I just wanna make sure the court knows that I,
And Mr. Cobb, if you were to test right now, what's in your system?
Nothing.
Okay. The court's going to order bond and conditions are continued, and then we will see you all back on April 10th.
Your Honor, before you, end today, my client is requesting, once again, that his, ankle tether be removed. He's showing up to all the court dates, he's no record, and we're also requesting that the house arrest be, canceled because, again, he needs to be able to take his daughters, to school and the, mother of those children, of his children to her job. And he's unable to work also, given the restrictions. Your Honor, he's shown up for everything, he's not absconded, he's not blowing off the court, he's been very responsible. He's done everything the court has asked.
Okay, well, first let me clarify that I did state, I think, each of the times that, the client, if he has employment, he can certainly work there, he would just have to give that information to the tether unit.
Oh, he would be able to?
Oh, yes, absolutely, yes.
Alright, I don't think he was aware of that.
So, Mr. Natterly, the people's response?
Regarding the house arrest, I think, people don't have any objection to the removal of that, but we would like the tether exhibits.
So I showed that there are a number of issues in 2016 that I'm not able to determine what actually happened with those. There are 3 of them, August 5th, August 7th, and December 20th, all of 16. Are you on probation or parole anywhere, sir?
I was on probation, but I cleared, I finished it, I never violated or anything.
Okay. Okay, what the court's going to do today, the court's going to remove the house arrest provision and will maintain the balance of bond and conditions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. So what we'll do is that tethered through Wayne County Jail? Yes. So what I'll do, sir, is, because my, staff information has gone home for the day, they will have this file tomorrow, and then they will send a message down to Wayne County Jail regarding the removal of the tether. So, while I'm ordering that is a provision, I would caution you tonight and into the morning until you receive confirmation. You can even email me here in the morning, sir, to probation to confirm that they've sent that information out of Wayne County Jail. I just would hate for them to go to where you are and arrest you because you're not at home, even though I've ordered that change. They may not get that information. Okay, so I just want to let you know that that's not going to officially be official until sometime tomorrow morning when Wayne County Jail unit gets that information.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Have a good day. We'll see you back on April 10th.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You have got to be kidding me. What is going on today? This is a jerk. Today is an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself sometimes.
Oh my God, sir, put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of this. What is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Reed, we're going to start bringing people in front. We're going to learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am? Ma'am? Can you hear it? Okay.
No patience for that. Trust me, at the end of the day, I'm sitting up here, I'm the one that needs a drink.